Hey folks, welcome to Unqualified, the fantasy football podcast that's been breaking the ice cube tray every time they twist it since 2017. I'm your producer, Rob Diesendorf, here with Sean Brady and Scott Johnson, two fantasy football rivals that have been sabotaging each other for years, but they decided to come together to help you win your league and make your friends look like idiots. How's it going, fellas?
It is going well, but I have a question for you, Roberto. Okay. Have you ever invested in a rubber ice cube holder?
No.
Maybe you should. They're a little better.
Silicone one. Yep.
Silicone.
That's not my
silicone
issue.
I think
that's
like
not my issue.
It's the same thing.
No, okay.
My issue is that they are still selling the plastic ones, okay? What kind of a broken business model is this? It's actually not broken.
Is this like
an
environmental
genius
hippie thing of you right now, or is this like a...
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this is a consumer thing.
I didn't know if we were going down one route or the other.
Whatever I bet you there's one ice cube tray company that exists in the whole world.
Yeah, Rubbermaid, I bet.
And they make hard plastic ice cube trays that you crack them and you twist them and you try to get the ice cubes out. You can't get them out. Then when you're trying to get the ice cubes out, you end up breaking the ice cube tray. Then you got to go buy another ice cube tray. And what does it cost? Like $1? So it's like not a big deal. And then you just keep doing it. You break it. You spend another $1. You break it again. You spend another $1. And they've got to be making 99% profit on those ice cube trays, because how hard is it to make one of them, especially when they make them that crappy? I'm pissed. They're designed with flaws. They're flawed by design. This is how the industry works. This is capitalism.
How many ice cube trays have you bought in your life? Because this sounds like a you problem if it's to the point where you've bought like 16 of these things. Because I could tell you I've had 3 for like 4 years and they've been fine. So
well, then they must be made of Kevlar.
I don't think they're made of Kevlar. I think they're made of rubber. They're made by Rubbermaid plastic ones.
Oh, really? Okay, because I bought one this year and it broke the first time I used it.
Sister of the pod just commented that she hates ice cube trays too. I don't mind them, but one thing I do not like is when you said the twist thing. You twist them, crack it. How do you get the ice cube out? That's my biggest problem. That's
what I'm saying.
I kind of like.
I have to do this stupid little thing where I toss it in the air, and then the ice cubes go flying.
Yeah, and then you lose.
And I just try to catch them. Yeah, and then I try to catch them on top of the tray. They end up flying on the floor, and then I just like kick it under the couch.
You kick them to the couch. It's an interesting strategy.
It's just water.
Well, yeah, that's true. I guess
I'm going to solve this problem for you. I'm solving it. You don't even need to buy another tray. Do you drink out of glasses or cups?
I drink out of a water bottle.
Okay, so put your water...
used cups.
You had to be different there.
I was going to say, if you drink out of glasses, or maybe your water bottles will work for also, just put it in the fridge empty to let it cool.
Wow.
And then you add the water to an already cool water bottle, which acts as your ice cube.
That is an elite move right there. That's a veteran move.
That's a bold move.
The chilled glass.
I really don't think that the chilled water bottle is going to make my water cold.
Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
I think the power
you gotta leave it for like a minute or two.
Go invest in some glassware. It's a long-term purchase, and that could be your ice cube moving forward. Oh, wait, hold on. We can't bury the lead any longer. We got to talk about this tournament. We got to talk about who got twisted and cracked in round 1, like Rob's ice cube tray, his precious, sweet ice cube tray.
Now that's a transition.
That's a veteran transition too.
I think the biggest upset of round 1 had to have been Chuck E. Cheese falling to Lucky Charms. I can't say I didn't see it coming, but that's a huge win for the cereal community.
All right, so that's your pick. I like that a lot. What's Rob? What do you think is the biggest upset?
That Chuck E. Cheese thing, that battle actually scares me to think about. I don't like those two characters existing in the same universe.
Well, they don't anymore. Chuck E. Cheese is out. He's done.
Yeah,
so
he's done.
It's just Lucky Charms now.
That is a weird one, though.
I'm going to need a minute to think about the one that shocked me the most. Scott, you go first.
I'll give you mine. It was Frida Bandito knocking off our number 4 seed, Colonel Sanders, KFC. I mean, it was 4 and 5 seed, admittedly, but Frida Bandito, he was a little overlooked there. He's like he's like a wild card team that you overlook a little bit, but you shouldn't.
They got David versus Goliath in that matchup coming up now. Frito Bandito, his reward for knocking off the Colonel is he gets the Jolly Green Giant, the overall number 1 seed in the tournament. The JGG. Can he handle him? I don't know. I'm rooting for him because I honestly think the Jolly Green Giant sucks. I think he's overrated.
Wow. Most overrated 1 seed since Wichita State, according to friend of the pod, Alex Jamal.
All right. I think the biggest upset for me was Uncle Ben from Uncle Ben's Rice versus the Chick-fil-A cow. Uncle Ben to me looks like he will fucking end you.
He's got a mean streak.
That man has hidden power. He has hidden power. I don't know where he's keeping it, but I feel like it's like
in his rice.
He strengthens his forearms in buckets of rice trying to get to the bottom.
That's what it is. It's his forearms.
That's actually a good workout.
You never see his forearms, and then when they come out, they're just veiny and like massive. He'll just fucking take you out.
He could definitely.
Yeah, Uncle Ben has some man hands that are just like ground with stone, and like they're like.
It wasn't enough.
Just rugged.
But it wasn't enough. The Chick-fil-A cow, the most passive participant in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
All it says is eat more chicken. All it does is do that, and it's still
spelled incorrectly.
Squeaked by.
Just redirects you in battle. Eat more chicken.
Eat more chicken without a C.
I was also surprised at the battle between the two rabbits, the Trix rabbit versus the Nesquik rabbit.
Yeah, that was a good one.
People seem to think that the Nesquik rabbit is going to be the winner, but the thing is, the Trix rabbit, he's a trickster. He's got tricks up his sleeve.
Dude, the Trix rabbit is on drugs. He's on crack. Like you're not
That's
messing
why
with
you
that.
can't stop him.
Exactly.
He also loses.
He has crack energy.
But he loses to kids on a regular basis.
Ooh,
like he's
interesting fold.
Like every commercial ends with him in the negative,
flipping over and
I think
to a bunch of kids.
I think the determining factor on this was that people think that the Nesquik rabbit is cooler than the Trix
it's like
rabbit.
a popularity type thing.
yeah,
I just think he's cool.
we're talking about deathmatch here, people. Like fight to the death. Same with the Chick-fil-A thing. Uncle Ben would mess that chicken up, mess that cow up, and a chicken too. He'd mess a chicken up too.
Put a little more thought into your answers next time.
It doesn't matter though. The viewers have spoken. The voters have spoken here. So we're moving on to round 2, the Sweet 16 of our Food Mascot Mortal Kombat Tournament. And I don't know. I can't say I'm pleased with all the results.
Yeah, they've been interesting. I think so. Thursday we're gonna post that on our story of round 2. So be sure to vote. Check in. We were very, very impressed with the amount of votes we got. The channels were bumping. So appreciate you cuties out there. But let's go.
I think literally every follower we have voted.
It was close to it.
I think that's how passionate people were about this.
I think that is awesome. Hopefully we get just as many
That's not even a
responses
joke.
round 2.
I glanced at one of them, and I don't know if it was something wrong with the algorithm, but for a second there was more votes recorded on one of those than the amount of views on the actual story. Like I know it's probably a glitch, but it was early in the process. It was like 46 votes and only like 44 views. So I was like, this is
actually
maybe Instagram's lying to us, but still, it was very impressive the amount of
somebody
feedback.
just came in so hot that they voted quicker than Instagram could pick up that they saw the story.
2 people double click really quickly, and Instagram was like, "Oh my god! All right, we get it."
Trix rabbit, fuck yeah.
So we're gonna post this week the round 2 on the on our actual post, and then the story is gonna be bumping with round 2, like the actual matchups. But let's go really quickly one by one. We'll go over how many votes we got for each person in each round in round 1. So Green Giant 40 votes compared to 14 for Pringles Guy. That's a landslide, but maybe overrated.
Yes, I think I wouldn't be shocked if Frito Bandito skates by again because he's the ultimate underdog. He seems like he's very, very small, and people love an underdog story.
I got to be honest, I didn't know he even existed.
So. Oh, Frito Bandito. I think it's an old one, honestly.
Yes, a lot of these are old, actually, which I think adds to the nostalgia factor.
Exactly. Exactly. Next round, we had Colonel Sanders, number 4, versus Frito Bandito, number 5. 31 votes for Frito Bandito, 25 for Colonel Sanders. That's a 55 to 45% vote there. That was a close one. And then we got...
Here comes the ultimate matchup. These next two winners.
This one was upsetting to me, honestly. Ronald McDonald, number 3, the most overrated number 3 ever in a death match. 41 votes compared to 16 for number 6 Cheerios B. That was just a landslide. It's Ronald McDonald, people. We had a good point from UQT that maybe Ronald McDonald has a bee allergy. And we didn't say if he did or not, but he could very well.
Wow.
Match would be over.
This comes down to I think some people are picking up that there might be a darkness to this guy. There might be a depth of depravity that he can get to that others can't. Unfortunately for him, he's going to meet the ultimate in darkness in this next matchup, because the Burger King is, I think, my number 1 favorite to win this whole tournament.
Yep, me too.
He's going to crush Ronald McDonald this week.
37 votes to 19 for Wendy. He just eviscerated Wendy. This is an early, supposed championship matchup here. Burger King, McDonald's, age-old question.
It's the logo we decided to go with. These two facing off, and it happened in round 2, and it's not going to be pretty for Ronald McDonald. The Burger King is a powerhouse in this competition.
Easily. It's like Red Sox Yankees meeting, not in the they're never going to meet in the championship.
Let's be real, folks. Ronald McDonald is deeply cursed. Okay?
Cursed. Let's see. The next one we had the fat bracket. Chef Boyardee versus number 8 versus number 1 Kool-Aid Man. Kool-Aid Man eviscerated. 46 votes to 10.
A strong competitor. He's a worthy adversary for some of the other titans of this competition.
Yep.
Strong reputation.
This next one, though, we were just talking about Uncle Ben Chick-fil-A cow. It was very, very close. I gotta say, 30 votes for Chick-fil-A, 26 for Uncle Ben. Could have gone either way.
Every vote matters. 23. Every vote matters.
I'm sad to see Uncle Ben go, but
I know, me too. His face, it just looks so nice and inviting, and he could fuck you up. Yeah. His forearms. Next one, this is the rabbit battle. Again, same numbers. 26 for Trix Rabbit, 30 for Nesquik Rabbit, which I think we need to talk to 30 people because that just doesn't sound right.
There's a whole secret society going on somewhere out there.
Yeah. This is a death match, people. Next matchup, 27 for Chuck E. Cheese, 29 for Lucky Charms. That is, I think, that's the closest so far. I think that might have been the closest vote.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese can't win the close games, and Lucky Charms Nesquik Rabbit is one of the most unlikely matchups, I think, going into this tournament, but we have it. We're here.
Yep.
I think we should do a death pool where we match up the most cursed characters that have already been eliminated just to battle each other.
We could do a consolation bracket.
I would argue that Ronald McDonald and Chuck E. Cheese are the most cursed out of all of these characters, and I want them to fight.
Yeah, although Chuck E. Cheese, they did change the logo. He looks a little friendlier now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I used to be terrified of Chuck E. Cheese. I had a birthday party
we
there,
fucked up.
And it was
fucked up.
not
We
good.
should have used the animatronic Chuck E. Cheese.
The old one.
Not the cartoon character.
Maybe that would have skewed the vote. Yeah. We need to do a revote? Round 1 again?
I want you to go and do one thing. You go Google animatronic Chuck E. Cheese and you stare into that machine's eyes and tell me you don't see the devil.
I did when I was 5 or 6, whatever age you go there, and I legitimately cried at my own birthday party because I saw the face of evil.
There is a depth.
I couldn't articulate it. I couldn't understand it at the time, but I knew deep down in my soul that something was off there.
There's such a depth within that machine that not even a black hole could reach it.
I couldn't agree more. I literally cried at Chuck E. Cheese when I was 3 or 4 also, John. And my dad was like, my dad took me outside because I like he couldn't console me because I was so freaked out. I think I was more freaked out by that that purple guy. What's his? I don't know his name. You remember that purple guy? Yeah. The other animatronic.
The purple
freak?
Guy is a McDonald's guy, isn't he?
Yes.
No, there was one in McDonald's, but there was also a Chuck E. Cheese. That's another thing to Google, you cuties. Animatronic purple dude.
Send us your most cursed character that you can find out in the world.
Out of Chuck E. Cheese, there was like 4 other characters, and they're all freaky. Tell us which one freaked you out the most as a kid.
Love it.
Let's keep it moving to the absolute biggest mismatch of the tournament.
Unreal.
Maybe in all of humankind. Tony the Tiger versus the Gerber Baby. This is just
rough seating there.
Did the Gerber Baby get any votes, Scott?
Yeah, 51-4.
I think I voted for the Gerber Baby.
Let's see. No, I'll say who voted for the Gerber Baby. We had L_dog with 2 W's. Liam T9. Let's Gord _15 and Dan DePinto. We had a little bit of a dark commentary on that one that we will just skip right by in terms of that being another Harambe situation. So we're just going to ignore that one. So maybe that's the only reason you could possibly vote for the Gerber Baby, but come on, it's a one-on-one death match. The Tiger Den. Yeah, you never know.
Dingo took my baby.
And Jemima, 41 votes to 15 for Snap, Crackle, and Pop. I was very surprised by this one.
3 versus 1.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Aunt Jemima will fuck you up.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking the same thing,
Crackle, Pop, though, they probably have a dark side to them, no?
Well, they got the team aspect, too, but I think Aunt Jemima is just like...
Just stomp on them.
She can go to the level of like anything is a weapon, including maple syrup.
Exactly. Her syrup is sweet, but her fury is powerful.
I like the way you put that. This one surprised me too. This fat division this is the acid bracket, acid division. 22 votes for Toucan Sam, 34 for the Keebler Elves.
This is the other side of that.
I don't agree with that.
This is the other side of the teamwork argument because I actually agree with this one. I think the Keebler Elves, they have an organization to them that is hard to match. Like they have that whole production line. They could make a nice weapon to take out Toucan Sam, and Toucan Sam is another one of those guys that kind of seems like he's destined to fail, kind of like that Trix Rabbit.
You know what?
I might have been. He just has like. He's having an identity crisis. Like, what's his thing? What's his thing?
Toucan Sam? I might have been overstating
elves, they have
the beak on him, like, and how scary toucans are, because they look scarier than they probably are. I was like, oh, he could, like, peck the Keebler Elves, and, like, he probably wouldn't do that in all reality.
I feel like his beak is super strong.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. And, like, how many Keebler Elves are we talking here? Someone asked that in the channels. I said like
I feel like I'm just not rooting for the Keebler Elves. They just annoy me.
Enough Keebler Elves.
You get that old dude. Yeah, let's move on. Who we got next? Next one, we had 35 votes for Paul Newman, Newman's Own, and 21 for Pillsbury.
Shocking.
That's fair.
Shocking. I thought this would be another one of those like 51-2 votes things, because Paul Newman, like Cool Hand Luke, anyone, like this guy is a fucking badass, and he might be being a little underlooked right now.
I agree. Overlooked.
Oh, I completely agree.
Yep. Next one, 43 votes for number 1 Captain Crunch in the Heat bracket. 13 for Hamburger Helper Hand.
Wow.
Yep.
So
business as usual.
Blowout.
Business as usual. Exactly. That's like Kentucky knocking off the 16 seeds. Like, we get it. Oh, next one though. This one broke my heart. 25 votes for Mr. Peanut, 31 for M&M's. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I voted for Mr. Peanut.
Good night, Sweet Prince. Same here. And we weren't enough. I thought the cane would help. Let's be real. The M&M's, they got...
He's a pimp.
They got it coming. There's been a number...
They're going to get knocked off first next round.
I think Captain Crunch has got their number.
Yeah, I will say, father of the pod... Mike S. Brady voted for M&M's.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what he was thinking. He was.
What is the M&M advantage, though? That's what I'm asking people. What is the M&M advantage?
It's the familiarity.
We don't know.
People know them, so they want to root for them. I think that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah,
but all you have to do is take a look at Mr. Peanut, and you just know that he's coming at you with that cane, and it's going to be merciless.
And he's also got like pretty sharp boots. He's got the hat. He could probably throw and slice one of these M&Ms in half. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. He's going to be whacking M&Ms left and right.
Yeah, and he's got the monocle too. It's I don't know.
Yeah, he's got the swagger.
Not anymore. Next one we got. Quaker Oats Dude versus Cheetos Cheetah. What do we think? Do you guys know what the percentages were? See if you can guess what the percentages were.
70-30?
Close.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 80-20.
80-20 on the dot.
Wow.
11 votes for Quaker Oats Dude, 43 for Cheetos Cheetah. That's a strong number 3 seed, Cheetos Cheetah.
This is my guy. This is my hometown favorite. I think the BK King is going to win.
Yeah.
But I want the Cheetos Cheetah to win. Because I just think he's so underlooked. He's just nobody really appreciates just how much of a badass this guy is. Like you can't even see his eyes. We've never seen his eyes.
No, and that scares the crap out of me.
What is going on behind those glasses? Oh,
right.
Wow.
You don't want to know, I don't think.
Plotting, planning,
yes,
scheming.
And then the last one in the heat bracket, last one in round 1. Do we think it's the most overrated number 1 seed, Cheezosaurus Rex versus Tootsie Pop Owl? Well, 37 votes to 16, Cheezosaurus Rex won.
First off, he's the 2 seed. He got a cake matchup in round 1, and he's about to run. Oh, is he? I thought he was.
Yeah, 1 versus 8.
Captain Crunch was the 1 seed.
He's a loser.
No, that was the other bracket, I think.
Oh,
he's a loser.
We'll go to the tape. Either way, he got a cake matchup in round 1. He gets the Cheetos Cheetah in round 2. He's going to run into a buzzsaw this round. To me, like, yeah, the Cheezosaurus Rex has size, but he has nothing else. He is soft.
He has nothing.
He's capital S soft. That's all he's got is that he's a big dude. He's got no chance in this tournament. Overrated.
Also, you were totally right. I totally put that in wrong. That was the 2 and 7.
Also,
there. Oops.
Also, everyone that voted on that is wrong. Have you ever seen a Tootsie Pop commercial? The kids go up to the owl. They go, "How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?" He goes, "None," and he just goes and crunches it with one bite.
That's what I was thinking.
That sounds scary.
This dude is not fucking around. He's coming in. He's crunching the lollipop in one bite, and then he's biting your head off.
Dude, he's got. It's not even going to be close. You're right. Cheetos Cheetah next round.
Ridiculous.
That's a joke.
I'm looking forward. I'm gonna break my own rule here and look ahead to the next round. Cheetos Cheetah against Captain Crunch. We get that matchup in round 3. That's an all-timer. That's a war.
I would have said Mr. Peanut versus Cheetos Cheetah because Mr. Peanut totally would have beaten Captain Crunch.
It's going to be a great battle either way. I'm looking forward to round 2. I hope that the You Cuties are just as active in those channels. And this is fun because it takes my mind off of fantasy football now and again, which has been
true.
Which has been really rough lately.
Yeah,
it did make me feel a lot better when I could pay attention to fake characters losing instead of my team because I was getting destroyed.
Same here.
So
I think we all were
putting this together.
Oh yeah, and we can do a quick little week 6 review here. Who went off? Everyone that plays against any of my teams, basically. Lamar Jackson is my guy. Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. Notice a trend there for those quarterbacks. Very mobile, explosive pass catchers, but not run first. And they all have offensive coaches, probably minus Russell Wilson, even though it seems like Schottenheimer's getting a little bit better, that actively help their quarterback. Absolutely. So if you own one of those guys, you're probably really excited about him. One of those guys. Matty Ice had a great week, and in spite of the Falcons' struggles, some running backs, James Conner, Nick Chubb, Stephon Diggs, and Hunter Henry are back, Scott. And I could not be happier about both.
I'm not happy about Stephon Diggs because now I really don't know what to do with him anymore the rest of the season. That's going to be the best game of his career. We'll get into that later. Hunter Henry, I'm so pumped up about because the tight end position is such a wasteland. Now we got Will Dissly out for the year, who's a top 8 guy. That's a rough one. So I'm loving Hunter Henry back.
Yeah, and that Patriots D is no effing joke. Although I will say I don't think that this clip continues for them. Even as early as this week, I think that they can see, not, they're still going to be usable, obviously, but I don't think they're going to be putting up historic numbers from here on out. I think you've seen the best that they have to offer. So I would trade them right now if you can.
Yeah.
Because their value is sky high.
Like we said, wait till the bye week and then trade them right then. It's a perfect time to get. We mentioned the lineup like last week or 2 weeks ago. Their remaining schedule.
All right, you talked about Will Dissly already. Achilles on like the first or second play of the game for them. Brutal.
Rough.
As someone that I pulled my calf this weekend, so I feel for him. It's a little bit of playing soccer, but it was a little bit of a lesser scale, obviously. But I feel for this guy. I feel like we're injury brothers right now. So get better, Will Dissly. Rooting for you. Amari Cooper is going to miss some time, and that sucks for the Cowboys because. Like, he's actually the guy that makes that thing go. I mean, Zeke is great, Dak is great, but they sucked until Cooper got there last year, and I'm a little bit worried long-term about what that does for that offense when he's not there. So not great. And then Devontae Adams, Geronimo Allison, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, they're all hurt for Aaron Rodgers, who just makes it happen regardless. He threw to a guy named Laser or something like that, and it was pretty cool. It made me think of dodgeball, but
yeah.
I mean, what's going on here in Green Bay, Scott?
I don't know. MVS and Geronimo Allison, it's notable that they don't have standalone value that much anymore, but it's notable because, laser, whatever.
All kinds of taser.
All kinds of blazers. But there's another guy, at number 10, I forget his name off the top of my head. He was the reason that Aaron Rodgers had one interception in that game. He slipped on the field, kind of popped the ball up in the air, and then was intercepted. So this doesn't help Aaron Rodgers' fantasy prospects. He actually looked good the past 2 weeks now. He's like kind of starting to string together some weeks, and I would always, defer to him. He's one of the best quarterbacks. You know what? He's like top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now, so can't go wrong with him for fantasy, but he hasn't been really proving anything this year, and it's because a lot of his pass catchers are out. Devontae Adams is a tough injury, too, to keep on having. I don't know how long he's going to be out.
Yeah, I still think he's a buy low, but it's not great. I really didn't think he was going to miss much time at all. He's already missed the last 2 weeks, so brutal. I do think, though, especially if you're a little bit under the radar, like if you're like a 1-4 or 1-5 team, I guess, or 2-4 right now, he's the kind of guy I would go after to try to shake things up because you might be feeling the heat right now.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And looking into that injury, so it's turf toe, which is what AJ Green had 2 years ago, I believe, or 3 years ago. He missed 10 weeks. There's 3 main sections of it, types rather, like stages. It's like stage 1, it's not that serious. They could be out in a week or 2, and they'll come back. The ligaments heal on their own. Stage 2 is obviously a little longer. It could be a 3 or 4 week injury, but there's no surgery needed. Stage 3 is like they need surgery, and they usually get it right away. Devontae Adams hasn't had surgery. It's been 2.5 weeks now, so it's probably in stage 2 in that turf toe injury segment, and it probably isn't as serious as like AJ Green had a couple of years ago where he needs surgery, he's out for 10 weeks, and he's out for the rest of the year. So he would have had the surgery already, basically, if it was that serious.
Great point. We got our resident MD over there, Scott Johnson. Love that.
Just traded for Devontae Adams, so I had to look into it a lot.
Hell yeah. All right, let's look quickly at some league-wide trends here. The NFC is wide open. They got contenders flying around. The top dogs don't look like they're bulletproof, kind of like Jolly Green Giant, like that kind of deal. Meanwhile, the AFC is pretty much decided already. You have the Pats, the Chiefs, the Texans, and the Ravens. Those teams are winning their divisions. No one's touching them. So that's where you have your Paul Newmans, and you have the rock solid teams.
Cheetos guy.
And then whatever combination of random wildcard teams squeak in, like maybe Lucky Charms or I don't know, like Frito Bandito maybe. Like the NFC is the division that I think we're going to get the most fantasy value from overall because there's going to be so many teams duking it out left and right down the stretch. The AFC, I legitimately think that some Patriots and Chiefs and maybe even some Texans will sit multiple weeks at the end of the year because they already have their seating locked up. So long-term, something to keep an eye on. And without further ado, let's get into the rest of Week 6. Okay, let's turn on the music and cancel somebody this week. And I don't know if we've done this guy already, Scott, but Jameis Winston. First off, thank you for throwing 5 picks to my fantasy defense, the Carolina Panthers. I appreciate that.
And 2 fumbles.
Oh my God! The only reason he's not the absolute locked-in cancel player of the week is because we might have done it already. I can't even keep track. Another contender here is Jared Goff, who is killing me as a Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods owner. I need him to be better than he's been so far, and I'm not happy about it.
1.1 points last week. At least Jameis Winston salvaged his day with 400 yards and a touchdown or 2. Ridiculous.
Yeah, let's cancel both these guys.
I like that.
Be better. Let's talk about a quick fantasy hangover here. Most points against every fucking week.
You and me
it just gets worse and worse. It's like I haven't seen anything like it. It's like if you want to, I'm like the Jets defense. If you want to have a good week outside of this week, just play me, because something about me this year is just
something about your face.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It makes people drop 190 on me on a regular basis. So
let's points against. let's do it in all 3 of our leagues. OG, you have 663, which is good for 4th most. I have 820.
Oh yeah, that's you on that one.
825, 825 points against. I'm not going to talk about it any more than that in 6 games. Hoboken League, you have a ton. You have 817.6, and I have 805.5. There's only 2 other people in the 800s. And then Brady Bros League, you have 651, and I have 715.
Yeah, so we're kind of splitting the difference there. We're close in most of them. I think you actually have more points against than me in 2, but I have the most overall in Hoboken. What the fuck is going on? And that's just part of the game. Eventually it evens out, but
I don't think it evens out. I think that's bullshit. It hasn't evened out yet. It's been 6 fucking weeks of this.
That's just me hoping it eventually does. But let's move on, because I don't even want to think about it. That hangover is just the one that you want to black out of your memory forever, and you never want to ever revisit in your consciousness. So that's where we're at right now.
You try to drink it off.
In week 6. Exactly. You wake up, get right back to that Bloody Mary. And
just going back to your fantasy teams and wondering why you have so many points against.
Oh, yeah. Let's move on to the beauty sleepers. Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, rolling along. I'm a little worried. This is the only time we're really going to revisit this, is because I've gotten so many questions about this guy. Austin Eckler, Scott. I know you're an owner. Yeah. Obviously, his arrow's pointing down, but I don't think it's as severe as people think it is. This week sucked, but that's just every player sucked on the Chargers this week.
Yeah, but that seems to be a theme of the year, so that's why it's giving me pause. For reference, I have, like you said, I own him in 1 league, and he's still the number 4 running back, which it's because his insane weeks 1 and 2 and 3 when he was a full starter, and his work has diminished to the point where he's getting 7 touches a game. I mean, I know he had 15 catches 2 weeks ago against the Broncos. He only had 3 attempts for 7 yards because Melvin Gordon came back. And then this past week against the Steelers, 5 attempts for 14 yards. So he's not getting any rushing work. You can't rely on that at all. He's not even going to be the goal line back. It's going to be Melvin Gordon, right? So you're really relying on the pass catching prowess. And not to say he's a great pass catcher out of the backfield, but he's not going to get 15 catches every week. And this team is just not good. They were home the last 2 weeks, and they lost pretty handedly. The Steelers game was not that close, as close as the box score indicates. So I'm kind of worried about him. I traded Will Fuller and another guy for Josh Jacobs. So I'm worried enough about him to need another guy to start over him. He's a bench guy for me.
Good to know. Luckily, one of your beauty sleepers, Sam Darnold, seems to be looking up. Thank God. Because the Jets actually looked like a competent NFL team this week. About time. I honestly think that's going to be the way it looks moving forward, because I think Sam Darnold is a gamer. They're going to win a couple games that they shouldn't. They might lose a couple games that they shouldn't also. But, I think all we did this year is set ourselves back for 5 weeks, and now we're going to be a 500 team.
Yep. Missed the playoffs.
-5, because we spotted our schedule 5 points, and we're behind the 8 ball, and that's fine. Whatever.
I love I love having Darnold on our team, though. I've liked him since last year. He was the third best quarterback in terms of QBR from weeks 14 to 17 last year. Week 1, he played the Bills, which is a tough matchup. And then this past week, easier matchup, Cowboys. 338 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Let me ask you this, Scott. This is going to get you jazzed up. Would you rather get Jerry Jeudy from Alabama at the end of the year, or would you rather be 8-8 just like the Bills and pick some random no-name player with like the 14th pick? I'll take Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy. Well, what I will say is there are some gems at like, 12 to 20 range. You got to find them. I think J.J. Watt was 11, if I'm not mistaken. Brian Burns this past year from Florida State was 16. He went to the Panthers, and he's a baller.
A stud. Yeah,
he's a good pass rusher. So there's some studs out there. But what I will say is like, Jerry Jeudy. I'll take Jerry Jeudy any day. Another wide receiver, Curtis Samuel, having some pretty good value here. So my beauty sleepers are looking up now. Austin Hooper is the number 1 tight end by 9 points over everyone else, and Devin Singletary, when he's out there, has looked pretty good. The only miss I have so far is Kalen Ballage. So maybe I should have invested more in these guys. Actually, I say a different thing every week about our beauty sleepers. I'm like, my beauty sleepers suck. I shouldn't have invested in them, and then now I'm like, they're good, and I should have invested in them more. But
yeah, you were sleeping on them. You were sleeping on them once again. Just like we're sleeping on the Browns wide receivers throwing passes. It's coming. It's going to get there, Rob. It's going to get there at some point, but
it's going to be okay.
As of now, not looking great. All right, you know what it is, by the dip time, and we are going into a dip we've discussed before on the pod, but we need to revisit it here formally for this segment. And our dip of the week is spinach and artichoke dip. Best vehicle for consumption. I'm throwing this out there. I'm expecting some blowback. Pumpernickel bread.
Wow.
Let's discuss.
Oh, you're a maniac.
Wow. No, I love that. Why is he a maniac? You know what? Can we? Well, I don't know if I'm actually afraid to say this because Rob's going to give me shit. But the pumpernickel rye twist.
Ooh. Okay.
What on that earth?
Sister of the pod agrees.
Yes.
Pumpernickel rye twist. Here's the thing about pumpernickel. It's a fucking myth.
It's a myth? Can't wait to see where this is going.
Please explain.
Yeah.
I think everybody is operating under this false understanding that pumpernickel is somehow healthier for you because it tastes bad.
It tastes great.
You think it tastes great? Is that what you think, Scott?
You just haven't acquired the taste yet. You're getting all defensive over there.
Yeah, it's like a fine cheese and wine or something.
Ooh, yeah.
Bigot.
Are we not all thinking that pumpernickel bread is healthier than regular bread?
No, I'm not
thinking that. No, we're not.
Maybe some people
collectively we're not.
Put it in the channels. See what the people think.
I think people are out there. I think people are out there thinking it's healthier bread, and it's not. It just tastes. It just tastes wrong.
It's probably the people that voted for the M&Ms over
Something's wrong. What's going on
Part
in
of
there?
the appeal here. Part of the appeal is you eat with your eyes first, right? So you get a spinach and artichoke dip, which, yes, it tastes incredible, but it can also look very unappetizing depending on who's looking at it and who's made it. So if you get the pumpernickel bread, all of a sudden now you get that contrast, the dark bread, the light dip, you get the little flecks of spinach in there, and all of a sudden now you're looking at a feast for your eyes in addition to your palate, and it tastes fucking good. Pumpernickel bread is underrated. I also like pumpernickel bagels.
What I'll say is that here I'm not anti-pumpernickel.
Yes, you are. You said it was a myth. You said it was a myth.
Not.
Don't walk that back.
I said it's a myth. That doesn't mean I don't. That doesn't mean I hate it. I'm just saying that I think it's a myth.
Do you like rye bread?
What I will say is that rye bread is just like, what's the purpose of rye bread? But here's the thing. Pumpernickel is good when it's moist, okay?
That's what I'm talking about here.
Stale and it's dry and it loses all of its puffiness and it's just a hard, dried out piece of bread.
Well, that's disgusting. You could say that about any bread. You could literally say that about any bread.
No, there's some breads that are better stale.
Like what?
You want to double click on that? What?
That came out wrong.
No, please continue. You have to answer that now. Don't
Rob
glaze
likes
over it.
to be scraping the mold off of his bread before
That's
he
not
eats
what
it.
I mean. That's not what I mean.
What do you mean
what
by
I
that?
meant? What I meant was that there's some breads that are better stale than pumpernickel is stale.
You can't explain your answer by saying your answer again.
I'm saying compared to
What bread?
stale pumpernickel. Compared to, like, white bread.
No, what?
Or
That's disgusting. Are you kidding? Are you going to say whole wheat bread
grain?
too and bagels?
Whole wheat.
Are
I
you
was
gonna
just
literally
going to say
every
that.
bread? That's
Oh man!
gross.
All right, let's table this, Scott. It's been fun. We haven't ganged up on Rob in a little while.
I know
and
it's
this
actually
is-
kind of fun.
This is nice, and
I'm on one
I
today.
do
Usually Rob's the
see what
bully.
you're saying though, Rob, because I agree that stale pumpernickel is pretty much the worst stale bread. I get your point there,
That's what I'm saying.
Sure it is.
but here we're talking about a pristine, freshly cooked, freshly baked pumpernickel bread with some nice spinach artichoke dip. That's a great
All right.
football Sunday appetizer, by the way. Throw that out there on the table, and it'll be gone in 15 minutes.
I will eat a whole loaf of bread if that's what's happening. You know,
If it's
fresh bread,
Oh, I thought you meant.
If
I thought
it's
you were going to say
fresh.
if it's stale.
if it's fresh, I'll eat an entire loaf and then I'll hate myself later.
Sure.
Okay.
Liar.
Bread is all about hating yourself later. Let's look at some guys that hopefully you don't hate yourself later for targeting. These guys are the current dip that I'm noticing, and I'm all about those fucking Eagles, baby. Give me the Eagles. Trade for Wentz. Pick up Deshaun Jackson if for some reason somebody got impatient and dropped him. Trade for Miles Sanders. I know he only got 8 touches this week. I know. I get it. This team is fucking good. And they're only 3-3. They just lost. But, I mean, once again, I feel like I'm a broken record. We've seen what this offense is with Deshaun Jackson, and it's electric. He put up 39 fantasy points week 1. Wentz was a rock star week 1. And I think Sanders will continue to grow into that role, go target the Eagles in trades and pickups, because D-Jax is going to be back soon, and it's going to be glorious.
Love that. Waiver guys. There's not a lot going on the past couple of
Robbie
weeks.
Anderson, that's about it.
If he's still out there, I feel like a lot of people kept him for some reason. It's still the week of handcuffs. Malcolm Brown got the start this past week, didn't do much with it. Chase Edmonds almost got the start because of an potential injury to David Johnson. Alexander Madison, pick him up in every league.
Yes.
It's just a week of handcuffs. Go pick those guys up. I was listening to this podcast. I forget what it was. It was a really good point. Would you rather have the 10 to 15% chance that a guy like Alexander Madison or Malcolm Brown gets a potential start because of an injury to their starter, as opposed to picking up a guy like I can't even think of an example. Frank Gore.
Yeah,
exactly.
perfect.
Or Adrian Peterson, where it's like a 1 week loner, and there's a guy, nipping at their feet that's going to take over. It's like it's a no brainer. Like, yeah, you'll have 1 week of Adrian Peterson, but 10 to 15% chance of a potential running back 1 or 2. Get that on your bench immediately.
I love that. And for our shrewd move of the week, this is actually not a shrewd move for fantasy owners. This is a shrewd move for the LA Rams. I've solved your offensive problems, and his name, the solution, is Darrell Henderson, because this guy needs the ball. Malcolm Brown, he's fine. He's slightly below average.
Boring.
Give Darrell Henderson the rock and let him work. And all of a sudden now, teams are scared of the running game, like they weren't with even Gurley in there.
Then play action.
And you got your mojo back. But they're not going to do it. It's going to take them a week or two. But I do think McVay is smart enough to be like, okay, let's inject a new variable into this equation and see what happens. And I think fantasy owners, go be a week early on this guy. I mean, Gurley's hurt. This is clearly the beginning of the end, which pains me to say because I love the guy. But, it's on the downswing, and Malcolm Brown is not the long-term answer. Darrell Henderson might be part of the long-term answer there. Go pick him up if you have the space, because I think, unlike Madison, his path is already laid out for him because Gurley's already missing time. So that's your shrewd move. And the Rams, I hope somehow, some way, this finds its way to them in the universe. But plug this guy in and let the magic happen.
In the ether. All right, Thursday Night Football preview. You know what time it is. What's up? Chiefs at Broncos. Pretty good matchup. I don't know. It's not bad. Chiefs are kind of reeling, though.
It's all right.
What's going on?
Oh, I mean, yes, Mahomes is banged up. No, I don't think you should panic. I think they'll be okay. The running back situation, you probably should panic a tiny bit. Neither one of these guys is an every week starter. You probably should know that already if you're investing. Damian Williams, one of the biggest busts, in my opinion, of the year. Mm-hmm. I actually saw it coming a little bit, so I kind of avoided that, but I know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of smart fantasy owners that were tempted by the promise of the end of last year. Regardless, that running game is not where you're going to make your money here. It's about Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Those two guys are still there. They're still healthy. So I think for that reason, they're going to be just fine. Yeah, like even 75% of Mahomes is more than enough for those guys to be tops at their position week in and week out. So I'm not too worried about the Chiefs. And then I also want to make sure we spend a little bit of time talking about the Broncos, Scott, because we haven't talked about them at all this year, except making fun of Joe Flacco. And there's been some sneaky production there this year. Like, you look at those numbers, and I'm surprised when I look at Philip Lindsay and I see like a 12 or a 15 next to his name. Like, he's been good. And Courtland Sutton's been also pretty good this year.
Yeah, Sutton has 30 receptions, 477 yards, 3 touchdowns so far, and he looks like a number one guy. Emmanuel Sanders is kind of fading. We don't even have to talk about him. I don't know why we got sucked back into it.
Yeah,
we did. We did.
Fuck you, Manny Sanders.
I don't know why. Friend of the pod, Craig Steinberg. Sorry. He was like, "Why are you? You can't say his name anymore." Emmanuel Sanders, I thought, and we did, and it bit us in the ass again.
Craig, you're right. I'm sorry, my sweet
you're
Craig.
Right. Courtland Sutton is an every week starter in PPR, half point PPR, even standard because he has touchdown prowess. Definitely an every week starter. He's the number one guy. This line is and Damian Williams, I agree. We both said coming into the season, like, he's never done it before. He's been in the league for 5-6 years. He's not a rookie. Yeah. He was a complimentary player with the Miami Dolphins. This is what he is. LaShawn McCoy had 8 of the 11 carries for them. Like, don't play any of them. You could drop Darrell Williams, like Darwin Thompson, all those guys. Just keep Damian and LaShawn McCoy. The line is Kansas City minus 4.5. Gives me a little pause because it's at Mile High. Pat Mahomes is still banged up. And
Short week.
Last year, this is with Case Keenum at the helm last year, keep in mind. Both games were very, very close. And it was 27-23. The Chiefs won both. 27-23 at Denver last year. Won by 4. And then when they were home, the Chiefs were home, they won 30-23. So Broncos scored 23 points both weeks last year on them in October.
And I could see, Lynn Sanity and Courtland Sutton having good games this week.
I think Courtland Sutton's a top 10 play this week again.
I also think I would take the over on this game. I don't even know what it is, but I'm taking it because the Broncos, like, they're not anemic on offense. They're not great overall, but I could see Lindsey having a touchdown, Sutton having 1 or 2 touchdowns. That's 21 points. And all of a sudden, we're not even talking about the Chiefs. Like, take the over here because I do think Travis Kelce, I've been saying it for like the past 4 weeks, he's a ticking time bomb. He's about to explode on a team, and it's coming. Like, he's like the 4th tight end right now with like 1 touchdown on the year.
That's why.
He's going to regress to the mean, and it's going to be very soon. So just stay patient with him.
Yeah, almost 500 yards. Guess how old Travis Kelce is?
He's 30, right?
He's 30. Where did that come from?
Well, tight ends generally bloom a little bit later in their career. Like even Ertz, Ertz was like, I remember Ertz being your team name like a long time ago, like 7 years ago when he was a rookie. And it just takes them a while to get going. Like, I can even see a guy like TJ Hawkinson taking another year or two before he finally becomes a solid target. It's
Noah Fant or Smith.
It might be. I mean, obviously, I think quarterback's probably the hardest position to play, but outside of like linebacker, I think tight end might be the hardest position to play in the NFL.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. And those guys were both drafted in the same round in the same year. Travis Kelce and Zach Ertz, 2013. Wow. Interestingly enough.
All right, as far as the line goes, I cannot not take the Chiefs. I have to take them. I don't feel great about it given the history you just mentioned before, but I mean, Tyreek Hill, like, he's back, and he just like scored an insane touchdown last week. it's going to be a fun game, I think. I think it's actually going to be a very fun Thursday night game.
Broncos pass defense against wide receivers this year. What are they stack ranked, like out of 32 teams?
Below average, I'm saying.
They're first.
What?
Against wide receivers. I saw that today.
Really?
With because I had Tyreek Hill in one of my teams in our OG team, and I looked up like research and matchup stats. Opposing ranking, Tyreek Hill this week, first. He's playing the Broncos. They're first against wide receivers this year.
Is it because it's so easy to run on them? I don't get it. It's just strange to me. But
here, let me name their before we move on. Let me name their opponents so far.
It's because of Vic Fangio. That's why.
Yeah,
now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oakland, Chicago. So think about the wide receivers on these teams and if they did anything against the Broncos
and the quarterback and the quarterbacks too.
Yep. Oakland, Chicago, Green Bay,
Brutal.
Jacksonville, Chargers,
2
Titans.
So 2 good passing offenses though.
Right.
So and the Chargers are iffy at the moment too. So like 1.5 good passing offenses.
Right.
But
still though,
yeah.
they haven't faced the Tyreek Hill. He's still play, but interesting. Number 1 against wide receivers in terms of opposing fantasy points.
So you're taking the Broncos here at home?
Yeah, I'm going to take them. I think they're going to cover. Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna be. I actually am very excited about watching this game.
Me too.
I didn't watch a single second of last week's game, so I'm going to tune in this week.
Giants Pats, yeah, not needed.
All right, that wraps up week 6. The week 6 wraps up the week 6.
Week 6. Whole wheat bread.
Wheat.
Hopefully, we get some nice results in this food mascot bracket challenge because I need something to distract me from my fantasy woes, and I'm hoping that's it. The Cheetos Cheetah is my guy.
Cheetos Cheetah, Frito Bandito.
I've got
Mr. Peanut.
Just like you said before, I've got huge money on the Burger King guy.
Burger King's front runner easily.
Huge money.
I like that.
Like if this goes wrong, it's going to be real bad.
This is his toughest matchup to date, though. He killed off Wendy, and then now he has Ronald McDonald.
And this is the age-old rivalry here. He's obviously always been second fiddle in the fast food game, but this is his time to get revenge, and it's going to be fantastic. Can't wait. So get active in those channels. Make sure you vote. I want to see even more votes than last week. So go tell your friends, tell them to tell their friends, and tell their second by proxy friends to tell everyone they've ever met in their entire lives to vote for the Cheetos Cheetah and get active in those channels.
And then tell them to
share the hell out of it.
Tell them to leave a review. We do this for free for you guys, for you cuties. So leave us a review.
Don't make me show up at your door with the BK man.
That's a scary proposition.
Walk away. Pretend like I didn't see anything.
Well, see y'all later. On that note.
See you later.